Yo, I believe that we are finally live, which is exciting. I'm looking at this thing on my other screen to verify, but I believe that we're finally live. We had some technical difficulties today. Still trying to refresh here to make sure I am actually live in the group. So if I am live, bear with me for just a second as I verify this. Looks good. Okay. So we are good to go. Sorry that we were a little bit late, but like I said, had some technical difficulties, and now we're all set. So I would like to dive right in because we are a few minutes late, and today we're talking about transformative experiences. Okay. Before I go into all that, if you're new to the group, welcome. Or if you're consuming this content not live, or maybe you're looking at this on my YouTube channel or my blog, which happens later on when I'm not live. Welcome to my stuff. Okay, so today we're going into these transformative experiences. I wanted to give a bit of background before I actually do go into it. And a couple weeks ago, I did a live class just like this one, all about client experience. And I got a decent amount of people to watch it live, but I got an overwhelming number of people who ended up shooting me a DM after the fact with all kinds of questions about this. And I think it's because this is something that was of the utmost importance in my gym business, but creating an amazing client experience. And of course, that's all about transformation. But I think a lot of coaches and consultants who haven't been in that world, they fail to deliver a world-class fulfillment experience. You know, if you talk to an agency or somebody who is a great marketer, they might be able to get you leads all day, but what actually happens to you as a client as you go through their process might not be optimal, right? It might be subpar. So it's really important to learn from other people that have purposely created these experiences and built businesses on top of it and cultures on top of it. So the best in the entire world at creating the client experience is Disney, and they actually teach how to do it. You can pay them, I think, $5 or $10K to go and take that class. But for most of us, I think that class would be best suited for somebody who is a client services manager or somebody in that role. But I think for most of you guys consuming my content, probably a solopreneur, or you have a small team and you want to create the best experience possible with the team that you have, or creating a team to do that. And you really can do that. So let's talk about what these experiences actually are. A transformative experience is exactly what it sounds like. I'm looking over at my other screen here because I'm getting a couple of comments in. I'm going to try not to let it derail me, though. Let's save questions for the end. Okay, so transformative is exactly what it sounds like. It means that once a client comes into your world, into your sphere, the experience should be so amazing that it has some kind of transformation. Okay. So with my gym business, this was easy, very, very measurable. Okay. They either wanted to get stronger, look better naked, lose some body fat, right? That's very, very easy to measure and show. If you guys are in lead generation or something like that, then yeah, that's also measurable and easy to show too. But even though that can lead to a total transformation, I'm actually talking about other kinds of things. So for the people, more than one person, by the way, that I used to train that lost over 100 pounds, do you think the experience of losing 100 pounds and just measuring that, hey, congratulations, Nathan, you lost 115 pounds in 18 months. Yeah, that's a measurable and it's a deliverable and you're showing a result, right? But that's not actually the transformation that's happening. For somebody that has that big of a transformation, their entire identity is changing. Okay. They no longer eat pizza every single night. Okay. They have more confidence. They're more outgoing. They are probably going to date a little bit more if they aren't already with somebody, or maybe their spouse is going to like them more. They're going to get more respect at their job. Okay. These things are not exactly tangible, but they're very, very real and very transformative. When you can create this for your clients, they will thank you for life because you're literally changing their lives. Now, if you're not in a life-changing business, it doesn't mean you can't have a transformative experience, but this whole presentation is mostly for our coaches, our consultants, our service providers that are giving that type of transformative experience. Now, it doesn't have to be life-changing, right? You might own a restaurant, okay? You can create a transformative experience within that restaurant with every single point of contact that you have with your customer. And how is it transformative? It takes them to another place that they want to experience, and they leave feeling better than when they came in. Pretty good, unless your restaurant is like one of those theme restaurants that they're like purposely assholes to you. But even then, they think it's funny, so you've done your job. Okay, if you're in consulting like I am, or you're working with other business owners, or man, maybe you're in weddings or something like that, you have this amazing opportunity to give these really life-changing experiences. So if somebody comes into my world and they just want to scale their business, let's say they're doing, I don't know, 10K a month and they want to make 50K a month. And they come into my world and we start going through the process and I show them all the stuff. And when I show them the mindset shift that's actually required to hit 50K months and 100K months, it's actually pretty jarring. Okay. It's not what they thought it was. It's different, but I don't always say that it's different. So if somebody comes in and they think they got it all figured out, they say something like, I know what to do. I'm just not doing it, which means they just need some accountability, somebody to kind of guide them through. Most of the time when they say this, they don't actually know what to do, which is why they're not doing it. That's just a little secret. Okay. But so let's say they come in and they think you're just going to be the accountability person and take them through that path with the things that they think they know that they should do. But instead, you flip the script and you start teaching them about habits and mindset. This is what I do. So this is why I'm talking about it. And we actually shift the entire frame to start living the life of somebody who's doing 50K a month or 100K a month or 7 figures a month. Here first, with every minute of the day planned out like a person that does that. And then we start plugging in the systems, right? So, okay, I'm just talking about transformation right now. I'm going to get into all the client stuff. So let's use a different example. Let's say you run an agency, okay? And the thing the client comes in for is more leads, design work, branding, whatever it is you do. Maybe you're outsourcing to another company for that stuff. And if you keep it all surface level, and you say, well, we got X number of leads for you, and your salespeople closed at X%, which means we generated this much revenue for you. That's great, right? You did your job. Doing your job is the bare minimum in this environment, in this day and age, okay? It's not good enough anymore to retain clients for the long term. And for those of you that have been in the game a long time, you know that it's a lot cheaper and a lot easier and frankly, a lot more fulfilling to keep somebody for a long period of time than it is to continuously churn new people. Okay. So if you're focusing on transformation and you're focusing on the client experience and you've mapped it out, you watched my last video on this and you know how to map it out, you know how to get ahead of all of the hurdles and all the milestones that you're taking your client through. If they have an amazing experience and they get to the end of their time with you, you've already been communicating what's next. And if you're a good fit, you're already going to be talking about that relationship moving forward. Okay. So not only are you increasing the average client value because normally these continuity plans are more expensive than the original, not always. Sometimes with the agencies, it's a subscription service where it's a bigger buy-in to get everything going. And then it's a lower value going ongoing, and that's fine. But in coaching models, it's usually an ascension. Okay. So for example, if you come into my offer and we go through 10 weeks, we turn you into the person that you need to be, and we literally design the systems and implement them to get you to the next level, then what are we doing at the next level? We got to scale it. Yeah, you're ready to scale, but guess what? I got some more tricks up my sleeve that I haven't told you yet because it didn't come in sequence, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to want to stay with me because we've already had transformation. You want to keep this train going. Okay. So it's the same in fitness. If you run a fitness offer, we used to do 6-week challenges, doubled the size of my gym just with 6-week challenges. How did it double? It wasn't the front end revenue. The 6-week challenge basically paid for itself in marketing, right? It was back then, if you guys know what a SLO is, self-liquidating offer, that's what that was. 6-week challenge was that. So where did we actually get anything? It was in the retention and in keeping the clients long-term and actually helping them. We showed them such great results in transformation in 6 weeks that most of them wanted to stay. And a lot of them wanted to upgrade to one-on-one, right? So I'm just using these examples to give you why this client experience and specifically transformative experience is so important for you to think about in your business. Okay, so let's get into some of the kind of specifics because I don't want to just, be in intro mode the whole time. So some of the bullet points that I put on my post earlier, breaking the rules. Okay, breaking the rules in your industry is one of the most satisfying things to do for you personally and for your clients. Why? Because they come in with this expectation that it's going to be this way or that. If you're in coaching and consulting and you've been doing this for a while, chances are you're getting clients that have already been through other coaches and consultants, and they come in maybe with a bad taste in their mouth. So if you do everything the exact same way as everybody else has been doing it, then it's pretty much, maybe they won't even sign up for the offer, first of all, but they're probably not going to immediately resonate with you when you start your program, right? But if you break the rules, maybe you start with a different process or whatever, right? Then it's more fun. How do you break the rules? Well, you have to be pretty much unconsciously competent in whatever it is that you're coaching. You have to be so fluent in it that you can decide, I'm breaking the rules today. So copywriting, if you're new to copywriting, you're going to follow everything that, Ogilvy and Eugene Schwartz has done, and you're going to kind of copy that model until you do it enough where you start to figure out what rules you can break, what you can kind of reorder, what you can redesign. This is actually the most fun part about building the client experience, because if everybody else is doing one thing and the client is, accustomed to that, and you do another, it's a breath of fresh air. It's awesome, right? If I come in and I'm expecting life coaching or whatever, and we don't talk about SMART goals on our first call, that's a little bit different. I like that, okay? Because I've been doing, I'm a coach. That means I also have a bunch of different coaches. And I have a high performance coach right now who I explained to him, hey, I know you want to start with SMART goals, but here's why I like to do it a little bit differently. He was cool with it. So I kind of broke the rules as a client and he was good with it, but he's very, very experienced. So he was willing to work with me there. The less experienced coaches are not going to be willing to break the rules. Okay. Breaking the rules also keeps the client guessing. Okay. You may have mapped out the entire journey with your milestones and everything that they're going to do throughout the course of your program. But if you give them stuff that's unexpected, right? This is in the ilk of under promise, over deliver, right? But it's more of just unexpected surprises, kind of like what I was talking about on our last class about the client experience. And it doesn't have to be gifts, right? It could just be little things that you do for your clients. It might be an extra call, or a text when they're not feeling so good, or whatever. Just little things to surprise them. Okay. Back to, so one of my questions was about offers within this ilk of the client experience. Inevitably, if you create a great client experience, your clients are going to want more from you. And it's doing them a disservice to send them away when they want more help from you, if you can solve that problem. Great example is if you're doing, excuse me, you're doing systems kind of like I am, and we go through and we customize it just like I would do for you and your business. We customize the system of the client experience. Okay. And we go through all that. And a client at stage 3 pops up and raises their hand and says, hey, you know what? I know this isn't in the scope of what we're supposed to be doing here, but it would be really great if. And then instead of saying, no, we're not going to include that, you could say, hey, you know what? That's a really great idea. It's probably not in sequence right now. Let's finish the thing that you're on, and I will create this for you at the point where it actually makes sense, because doing this out of sequence is going to mess this whole thing up. But how about this? When we get to that point, I'll have an offer for you. Okay, yeah, that sounds great. And then 3 more calls when the client is actually ready to do a webinar or whatever it is that their idea was. It's all right, cool. Well, I know this wasn't the scope of our agreement. Here's what I got for you. It's going to do exactly what you wanted it to do. Here is the exact framework. It's going to be an extra $3,500 because my team has to build out this, that, and the other. Cool. All right, sweet. Here's my credit card. Awesome. Then you wow them through that experience as well. Okay. Not rocket science. Very, very simple. But more often than not, I hear business owners avoiding revenue when they could give it. Now, don't let me go down this rabbit hole, because it's not actually wise to do all the little things all the time. It's only if you are crushing your core offer and you're at a point in your business where you're not actually wearing all the hats. Okay. So if you're wearing all the hats still, you're a solopreneur and you're doing all the little things, taking on a bunch of new projects is a really, really bad idea. So get past the solopreneur stage. If you're a freelancer, you're going to go into solopreneur. You got to move past solopreneur to get into manager and CEO in order to start doing this stuff. And that's okay. It's the natural progression. So, okay, I don't want to sidetrack this. Wowing your clients after the honeymoon phase. Okay, what is the honeymoon phase? It's a couple different pieces to the honeymoon phase. Number 1, if you're doing a high ticket offer, which a lot of you guys are, I think, in this group, there's a point after they make the purchase where they're like, I don't know if I should have done that. It happens with it happens with every single purchase anybody ever makes. It's just human nature. And for a second, they regret it. So this is actually the beginning of the client experience. You need to confirm their decision was a good one. So now, it's usually too fast for you to send a really cool welcome package or a letter or something like that. It's usually like the day after they sign up with you. So if you're not in person, it's tough to deliver a big package. So what is it that you do? Well, what I do is a really, really awesome welcome email and a call sequence. And that's enough to get them to the package, but it just shows them that they made the right decision, that you actually care about them. Now, if you don't care about your clients, don't watch my content anymore, because where all my stuff comes from is a place of you created a business to actually help other people. And if you don't care about your clients and you don't want to help other people, then, we're not in alignment. So if all you're in it for is the money, you don't want to make a dent in the world, then you and I aren't going to get along, because I think we help first and really, really take care of the client, focus on them. And of course, if you do that great of a job, you'll be rewarded with enough money. And that's of course, that's true. Okay. Intangibles. Now, I was kind of alluding to this earlier with the confidence and, the transformative experience stuff, confidence and getting more dates and things like that, when that wasn't really part of the agreement with weight loss, right? What happens if you're leveling up somebody's business? If you're an agency or you do something similar to what I do, it's not always tangible. Okay. I did a mastermind fairly recently, last year. It was not at all what I thought it was. And it was completely life-changing. Why life-changing? Because it reframed the way that I thought about a lot of this higher level stuff. Okay. And where my place in the ecosystem actually is compared to where I thought it was. And just having that realization was worth the $25K or whatever I paid to be in that mastermind. But a lot of the stuff they were teaching at the tactical level was nothing groundbreaking, right? It was more the strategic high level stuff, which is intangible. You can't actually put a price on it. It is priceless. It would have taken me another 10 years to learn that on my own. Okay. So it sped up the learning process. Okay. I think I answered most of the questions I had in my DM. So I'm going to look at my other screen here and let me know if you guys have any other questions on this particular topic before I transition a bit here. Okay. I'm not seeing any other questions, so I'm gonna transition this a little bit. I know a lot of you guys watch this live, and a lot of you guys don't. A lot of you guys actually watch the recorded version, and then you end up sending me messages or whatever after you watch the recorded version. I got people watching stuff in my units from months and months ago, and they're asking me questions about it, and it's just as valuable. So here's my point. I want to talk to you if you are a service-based entrepreneur, okay? And there's a couple of different categories of people I work with. Most people I work with are doing more than 10K a month, which means they're over 6 figures for the year in the business, and they want to scale to 7 figures and beyond, okay? That would be most people. I've gotten a lot of you guys lately that are asking me, you haven't launched yet. So I've been toying with the idea of creating this launch class, which would be a little bit different from my consulting. So yes, it would be a cheaper price point. There's some of you guys that have done calls with me when like, well, here's my consulting offer. And you guys get a little bit of sticker shock. So if that sounds interesting to you, shoot me a DM and let me know if you'd be interested in a launch class, essentially. I would do it group style. I like to do most of my coaching one-on-one, but for this, since I'm bringing the price point down a little bit, I would do it live and I would do it in a private group setting. So shoot me a DM if that's interesting to you. If you're on the other side, like most of the clients I work with, you want to get into this client experience stuff a little bit more, I'd love to hear about your business and your offer on a call. So just shoot me a direct message. I'm pretty quick about it, usually within the same day, if not the next couple of days. We'll get back to you. We'll book a call. We'll see if I can help you. And if not, I can probably refer you to somebody who can. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week.